you all had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. Everyone, now's the time to start setting new goals for 2016. Like, I'm in a plan maybe. So I'm just going to give a brief introduction how I got into climbing and how I met the lads and how we started the company. I started climbing quite young. My dad was a climber and he brought me out to the mountains. So I was about age 10 there and loved climbing from an early age. But I stopped climbing for a while. No kids my age were doing it. That was back in the 80s. And so I started playing tennis for 20 years, but it was either Wimbledon or Everest, and Wimbledon was too hard, so I thought I'd go back to climbing. In 2009, I finally got the chance to go to Nepal, and it was somewhere I always wanted to go. I've traveled a lot around the world, and couldn't believe when I actually got the chance to go there. I was blown away by these amazing mountains and the culture, going through the valleys, visiting these Buddhist monasteries, and was absolutely amazed at the experience out there and how welcoming the people were. And then, the first time I saw Armada in 2009, it was a mountain I always hoped that I'd have a chance at climbing. I wasn't an experienced climber, I was only trekking to base camp at that stage, and thought, just go to base camp, maybe someday I'll climb Armada or Everest. And after 2009, I started thinking about Everest, wanting to, can I actually do it? Is it for professional climbers? And started putting plans in place. Started talking to people who climb there, researching, reading books. Started doing a bit of training with John. Went to Scotland during the winter around this time for a couple of years training. And started building up confidence and working towards bigger mountains. Went to Mont Blanc in the Alps, so started taking in steps to try and get to Everest. Always learning, training, and working towards my goal of Everest later on. It was a lot of traveling, but I was enjoying. I enjoyed the mountains and meeting new people. Going around the world. This is on Denali in North America. In Alaska, the highest mountain in North America. So I started, really putting the plan in place for Everest, but I didn't think I'd be able for Everest until I climbed a few more mountains, Kilimanjaro, which some of you might have been on. It's the highest in Africa. Then in 2011, I went to Choyu in Tibet, the 6th highest mountain, and met the guys, and couldn't believe the experience of the guys, all their mountain experience, 19 times up Everest, 9 times up Everest, and learned so much from Mingma, Pasang, and the rest of their family. And climbing Choyu was a big step for me. You go above 8,000 meters in the death zone, and before that I'd only been to 6,000 meters, so it was a real big step towards going to Everest. And these guys gave me the confidence, taught me the skills out there to actually climb Choyu and make me believe that I could go on and climb Everest. And this is that was 2011, 2012. And I felt I was ready, a bit more training with John in Wicklow and Carrauntoohil, different places around Ireland. And then I started planning Everest. So this is a small map of Everest here. Base camp here is at 5,300 meters. So it takes about 7 days to trek into base camp. Amazing journey in. You're going through all these villages, all the people inviting you in for tea and dalbat, the local food. And when you get to base camp, it's absolutely amazing. Some of the biggest mountains in the world around you. And you start off here. We spent two months at base camp and climbing up and down the mountain. So 5,300 meters, your body starts breaking down. It's very hard to recover. I have a bit of a cold at the moment, but if I was up there, it would be a lot worse. You can't get rid of a cold up there. So you have to stay healthy, keep things simple. eating lots, drinking lots of water, and sleeping. So we spent a lot of time at base camp. Then the first section on Everest, you go up through the ice fall here, up to Camp 1 at 6,100 meters. The ice fall is one of the most dangerous sections of climbing Everest. It's the first section, but it's a glacier, moving glacier. So sometimes there's big blocks of ice that will fall on you, sometimes big holes or crevasses, big kind of holes in the ground that you can fall into. So you're always watching above, trying to get through this section as quickly as possible. The second Camp 2 is 6,400 meters. So a lot of time we go up and come back down to get our bodies used to the lack of oxygen in the air. So we're always going up, testing our gear, getting to know the mountain, then coming back down. Camp 3 up here is 7,200 meters on a steep Lhotse face. When we were there in 2012, there was an avalanche and came down and destroyed a lot of our camp trees. Luckily enough, none of us were there. One of our Sherpas did get injured, but if it wasn't for Pasang Wingman and the rest of the Sherpa team who rescued him, he would have died. So, having the best team in those situations is amazing. I always felt safe climbing with these guys. Then you go up to Camp 4, which is just below the death zone at 7,950 meters, and you start using oxygen from there because your body actually starts dying. Your organs start, they aren't getting enough oxygen, your brain's not getting enough oxygen, so you have to make good decisions about how you feel, always evaluating your body, and hopefully you're strong enough to make it all the way to the summit up here. But there's, up there's the Hillary Step, one of the most famous parts of the climb, where Sir Edmund Hillary climbed in Tenzing Norgay in 1953. And once you're past that, you're near the summit. When I was there in 2012, I already knew Mingma, Pasang, and all his family. And I spent a lot of time with the Sherpas, hanging out, drinking tea, and lots of Sherpa stew. So it was, a great experience to be with the guys in their Sherpa tent and having fun playing cards, even Sherpa dancing and singing sometimes. And then, just seeing how good these guys were on the mountain, seeing them not only rescue some of our guys, this is Pen Cherry when he got injured, and how quick they were to evacuate him from the Lhotse face and get him back to Kathmandu. They also rescued many other teams, so they weren't only looking after our team, they were also other teams who were in need of help. They went to rescue. So I knew I was with some of the best, and if I did get in trouble, these guys would hopefully get me out. And then, finally reaching the summit of Mount Everest was a dream since I was a very small boy, and couldn't have done it without the help of my family, friends. John was very supportive in training and some, sponsorship. So, you think of that when you're there. All the people who support you, help you achieve your dream, and then obviously the guys on the mountain making sure you're safe and making sure you enjoy the experience. And it's very hard to describe, but for me, I couldn't believe I was up there and really, it was the start of my climbing career. And even on the way down, I started thinking about other mountains and climbing with these guys. This is Mingma. Tundu, his younger brother, and Hassan, just up in the dead zone just after summit. And you're still only halfway there, so you have to make sure you get down. 80% of accidents happen on the way down. You're tired. You don't start celebrating just yet. You want to get down safe. And I knew these guys would get me there safe, and it was amazing to climb Everest. But then we started planning other mountains for the next year and future years. And this is Mount Macaloo. We're hoping to climb sometime in the future. And recently we climbed a mountain that had never been climbed before called Bed and Go. And it was very special, to climb a mountain in their home valley of Rowallan after the earthquakes this year. So it was the second earthquake hit their valley quite badly, and to go out to their valley and climb the mountain, Bed and Go, that had never been climbed with all the Sherpas from Rowallan was really an amazing experience, and very difficult climb. It took us 22 hours. Yeah, 22 hours climbing on the summit day. So it was a tough climb, but very special moment for me and the guys. Then that was in October this year. You could see all the damage and all the earthquake destruction, and then to climb with some of my friends from Ireland, John, Gavin, and the rest of the Sherpa team, climbing Armada Blanc, which I'd always wanted to climb since 2009, was just an amazing experience as well. And I'd like to. John did very well. I was very happy we'd be planning this for a few years, and I hope you enjoyed the experience with Mingmen Pasang. And again, it was great to see. I didn't have to take the Armada logo up. I stayed in the wait, so I took the photo. John brought the logo. So yeah, I'd like to thank Mingmen Pasang for visiting Ireland, and I look forward to working with you guys. I've been working with them for a few years now, and it's been a great experience so far. And I look forward to doing many treks and climbs with you in the future. And maybe we'll go up Everest again with John when he's ready, So I'd like to welcome Mingmen Sherpa to the stage, and I'd like to thank everyone again for listening to our presentation.